Hi guys, Deb Acker here, back with another video. And the title of today's video is How to Be Happy During Challenging Times. So first and foremost, for those of you guys who are new here, welcome. I'm an intuitive coach and I work mainly with women to help them to heal their past, heal their childhood patterns, specifically around abandonment and the abandonment that can show up when we have physically and or emotionally unavailable parents. And if you found your way to this channel, I'm imagining you had some kind of abandonment in your life, right? You had some kind of abandonment through physically and or emotionally unavailable parents. And here's the thing. In the situation, like if you grew up with parents that were showing up in that way, whether that was because of addiction, a divorce that had occurred, maybe a loss of a parent and or a parent working a lot or just being emotionally unavailable, understand that those times in your life were hard, right? And you probably didn't have any kind of roadmap of like, how do I even navigate this, right? And or how can I see this in some new ways that might actually support me? So first and foremost, the question that I want you to ask yourself, and the question I'm going to ask you is, are you allowed to be happy? Are you allowed to be happy? Are you allowed to be happy during challenging times? And are you worthy of happiness? Because that can be a way that a block shows up in our life, right? Because if we've kind of bought into the paradigm, like, okay, you grew up in this really hard situation as a kid, and you might have bought into in some way or another that life was just always going to be hard, right? And that you know, maybe other people get to be happy, but that you don't get to be happy. So first and foremost, it's important to notice, is that true for you? In some way, is that true for you? Then from there, I talk a lot about this in my videos, but one of the things that I would really encourage you to do, you know, what happens is, and I'll tell you a story around this. So early on when I had this awakening and I was super happy and very euphoric for quite a long period of time. But at some point on that journey, I found myself trying to like sustain that happiness and like maintain it. And in doing so, I was in a state of resistance. And so a lot of times when we're searching for happiness, we're trying to go after it, right? A lot of times what's really going on there is we're not actually being where we truly are. And believe it or not, you know, you can try to seek it and chase it and all those things, but believe it or not being where you are is actually making you unhappy. So one of the things that you can do is actually to be where you are. So if you're unhappy, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, be where you are. Feel those feelings. And if you can allow yourself to feel those feelings, even if it's just for 30 seconds or a minute, you are going to have a huge release and actually start to feel better. And what you're going to notice over time is not only are you building up your capacity to be with hard times, but it's like, if we started our baseline and we're practicing, okay, how do I get through the hard times, right? How do I actually, really be able to get through those hard times so I can be happier? If you're here normally where it's like I'm high and I'm low and I'm high and I'm low, what you're doing by not actually being where you are is you're limiting the amount of happiness that you can have. So the more deep you're able to go, the more low you're able to go, the higher you're going to be able to go, till not only does your happiness baseline raise, so it raises up till all of a sudden you're not dropping nearly as low, but you're going way up. You're going so high, right? So again, so important to actually be where you are. And then with that, can you find the good? We all have good things happening in our life, even if we also have challenging things happening, right? So one example of this is, around, say, for instance, you have a family member that's in the hospital, right? Of course that's hard. Of course that's difficult. And on the flip side of things, maybe you're getting to spend more time with them, right? Or you're getting to learn things about them that you historically haven't learned. So Harville Hendrix has a book out. It's called Hardwiring Happiness. And he has a tool in this book, and I want to teach this tool to close today's video. But he has a tool in this book on how to rewire your brain for happiness. And he uses the acronym HEAL, HEAL. And it first starts with you're having an experience. So, you could say you're having an experience where you're we'll start with on the beach, right? So you're having an experience. And then what you want to do is really expand that experience. So if I'm on the beach, I'm going to really feel the waves in my body, right? I'm going to feel the sunshine on my skin, right? I'm going to notice the people around me, right? And so you want to really expand that experience as much as possible. Then from there, the A stands for absorb. So you're going to expand as the E, A is the absorb. So you're going to really absorb that into your body. You're going to really take it in. The L stands for linking a positive experience to a negative. So obviously being on the beach is a positive experience, but say for instance, like go back to the example of having a family member in the hospital. If you have a family member in the hospital, what you're gonna do is, so you're gonna have the experience, I'm having the experience of being in the hospital with my family member. I'm gonna expand that experience in the sense I'm gonna find the good in that experience, and then I'm going to expand that. So again, maybe it's that you're getting to spend quality time with some of your family members. Maybe you're learning things about that family member that you haven't learned before. And then I'm gonna really take those in, right? Because I'm taking in, okay, this is actually like, you know, that part of it. Even if it's hard, I get that it's hard, right? That part of it is really good. And then what you're doing is you're linking those positive moments to this challenging moment of having a family member in the hospital, right? So, you know, it's one of those things where the more you practice it, the more you keep rewiring. And again, with that, just to emphasize, make sure, you know, even before you do that, you are feeling and being where you are. That is such a huge key, and you're going to keep raising your happiness baseline till one day you're going to find yourself just literally in states. You're going to always have ups and downs and highs and lows, but again, it's like you're going to move up and then just be like high and then not nearly as low, high, not nearly as low. So that is today's video. If you are enjoying this series, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is always my goal for these videos to give you new awarenesses, new tools, new practices that are going to really support you in living the life that is meant for you, that are going to really support you in healing your past and really moving to that next level in your life. And of course, if you want more resources, check out a bunch of the links below. So thanks so much for being here. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.